All right, we got a medical appointment at Michael E. Debakey VA Medical Center. It's a little early, but we're going to test out version 13, give it a chance to make some mistakes if necessary. And I've always known that the parking at the VA, it's better to be early than late. So we're about to get it going. Let's, second drive, it's daylight, should be noontime traffic. Let's see how our AI student driver handles this. Handled the parked cars on the street fairly well. Yoshchan allowed me to take Panda to this appointment instead of Stygian 2.0. She took the Model 3 just so I can use version 13 and get some more ideas. Right now, that right there, we were definitely in the other lane as this roadway is being constructed upon. So let's see if the report button works. Report. Yeah, they must have done away with that. So that obviously is not a feature anymore. We're gonna find a way to issue reports. But either way, minor. If there was a vehicle coming, I'm sure our AI student driver would have rectified itself. But definitely was in the other lane. Not a very clear lane markings on that road there, so no harm, no foul. Tesla! Oh no, I just love seeing Teslas. Stock took a bit of a hit right before we left, but it seemed like it was surging back. Our vehicle is, maybe it knew something I didn't, but it was definitely going to go when it wasn't supposed to. That might have just been me. But the car started moving when the light was still red. So I intervened. I didn't know if there was going to be a blinking yellow light. It quickly became blinking yellow right after the vehicle started moving. So maybe I'll take a little ownership of that, but that is a disengagement. Like, maybe it knew something I didn't. Bit of a rocky start heading to the VA. You know, these back roads, it's a fresh light. I don't know. It's a little more than just a comfort issue, if I had to say so myself. So keep our eyes peeled. This morning was really good. On the way back, it made a few errors that, you know, mildly alarming, but nothing that I don't think the Tesla AI team can get through with more data and rectifying these particular issues. Man, it's so amazing. We went from version 12 to version 13 in the matter of a year. That is progress, ladies and gents, and these aren't just some minor issues. End to end on the highway, we now have the ability to reverse. I haven't really utilized this reversibility just yet, but I can't wait. I just wanted to conduct natural drives. I'm not trying to put it through an obstacle course of, trying to trip it up. I just want to see how it responds and behaves in fairly normal day-to-day drives. With the Model 3, I've contemplated becoming an Uber driver, moonlighting as an Uber driver in that vehicle. I plan to put as many miles on that car as I possibly can, so Uber driving wouldn't be a thing. If I'm going to be out and about, I might as well be giving people rides at the same time. So more on that to come. Nothing, I'm not trying to make a living off of Uber, but I'd like to see how it functions, stop to stop. All right, so we don't have avoid tolls on, so we will be taking the tollway. We are going to be fairly early for our appointment, so who knows, I might stop off and do some mild Christmas shopping, pick up some knickknacks. After the VA appointment, I do want to go to the Galleria. I believe the wife's earned it, so we're gonna go see what we can rustle up at the Galleria. This morning it was a bleak, foggy morning. Now it's partly cloudy, looking a little bit better here in Southeast Texas. We do have hurry mode on. Right now we're going about 69 miles an hour, 70 now. Passing vehicles, this is what I kind of expect. So we're not going to take I-10, it looks like. It looks like we have an indication that we're going to take the Fort Bend West Park Tollway, which is probably faster than I-10. So I'm all about that life. I'm going to make sure that Yoshchan's settings are on the average side. I think she gets a little alarmed when the vehicle is going a particular number of miles over the speed limit. So and I do like that maneuver right there. I mean, there's no cars in front of us. Right, we're not passing anybody. We got right back over into the right-hand lane on the freeway, and we dropped our speed. There's no need to be going crazy fast. So I'm kind of enjoying what I'm feeling right now on the highway with version 13. It's our first time on the highway, really, to see what our latest and greatest version 13 has to offer. And I like what I'm feeling. I like it. We are going about 10 miles over the speed limit now, 10 to 12, mainly because the speed drops from 65 to 60, right? I don't know if this will ever become a speed trap for cops, but has some potentiality. Either way, I let it go. I'm not here to micromanage it. I just want to make sure that it's safe. We're coming up on this construction zone on 99. Not extremely complicated, but the lane lines and the barrels and the barricades, it can be fairly confusing, right? Even humans have trouble understanding where they want you to be driving, especially as they're merging from the feeder lane. It gets ridiculous, but so far so good with our AI student driver. I think I forgot to mention it earlier. The YouTube channel is now over 1,000 subscribers, which I thank each and every one of you, whether you're watching or not. I appreciate just subscribing. It goes a long way. I mean, I don't do it for the likes, I don't do it for the followers, but it does take a disproportionate amount of my time just to get this stuff out there and about on the interwebs. To be rewarded for that, it feels good. So I want to make sure I extend my thanks to everyone. The content will continue to keep flowing as long as I draw breath. This company is absolutely amazing. Following it over, I think the YouTube channel is almost 2 years old. I think it'll be 2 years old in 2025. It's been exciting. It's nothing that I considered a chore, but if I'm gonna have this much money invested in the company, I need to know the daily comings and goings of what's happening, right? What the media is saying, what particular analysts are saying, what the bears are saying, what the bulls are saying, the numbers people on Wall Street, PE ratios, this, that, and the other. I have a rudimentary knowledge of it, but as my curiosity peaks, so too shall my knowledge. So that's what the channel is for. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. Matter of fact, I think being a layman is my stick. I just am fascinated with this company ever since buying the product, and even more baffled that people don't understand the company as a whole, the mission. All right, so we have a kind of an abrupt stop here. You just pray that the people behind you understand that there will be stops. The only real fear I have is being rear-ended. It wouldn't be the first time Panda was rear-ended by a distracted driver. So the goal is to eventually get humans off the equation when it comes to driving, because that's where the where the 40,000 plus deaths come from, is human error, whether it be tired, drunk, distracted, you name it. The goal, in my eyes, can't be achieved fast enough. When we remove the human element, so many lives will be saved. Less tears shed. I'm all about that life. Less tears shed. But yeah. My follower count on X is growing as well. Shout out to the Tesla community on X. That is, it's an extreme brotherhood. Is basically all I can say. Is, they're excited and they have good reason to be. I can only imagine what it'd be like if mass communication was this prominent during Apple and Amazon's rise, right? When those companies transform from what they were known for into something much more lucrative, to say the least. Not lucrative's only half of the equation, right? These companies transform the way society functions. That's what I believe Tesla is in the process of doing. Most people just see the cars and like, oh, that's Elon's car, or something of that effect, right? They're too expensive. Isn't that $100,000? I get that a lot. Many people just don't realize how cheap a Tesla is, how efficient a Tesla is, the lack of maintenance involved in maintaining a personal Tesla for your use. I have a feeling we're about to get into the trials and tribulations of fleet ownership. I mean, obviously we saw what happened to Hertz. They were not ready to maintain a fleet of Teslas. One, the consumer base was ignorant of how Tesla should operate, resulting in numerous malfunctions, not only in the car's hardware, but some of it in the software. Hertz was not ready, and that's fine. They paid the piper for that, as a matter of fact. So, all right, the construction is getting a little more complex here as we got the feeder. Let's see how our AI student driver gets on Fort Bend West Park Tollway. if it's even capable, right? We got our blinker on, we're making our move, and we get the job done. That's fairly simple. At least our AI student driver made it look simple. So here we are. Let's get back to it. So, you know, let's just say Tesla achieves unsupervised FSD by the end of 2025. Let's just keep that as a benchmark. I know there's some mid 2020, let's say end of 2025, just to be safe. I bought the Model 3 AI4 with that intention of maybe even putting that on in Tesla's fleet, right? So the robo-taxi fleet will be comprised of cybercabs, but I have a feeling that we're going to see Model Ys and Model 3s be launched in select areas initially, right? Even before the cybercab is up to full production. So my goal is to be a part of that program with my fresh Model 3, and I will be adding and subtracting that to the fleet as I see fit, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought in 2021 it was difficult to get your hands on a Tesla, that will be replicated if these things can go from point A to point B by themselves, with Tesla taking the liability, or the liability issue solved, so to speak. It'll be bananas. You'll be like, it takes me a year to get a Tesla? That's because people are finding a way to utilize these things beyond just personal use. And just like Hertz had to go buy hundreds of thousands of these things one by one at a computer terminal, right? There's no like quantity button on the Tesla website. Somebody had to go in there and buy each one of those vehicles. Tesla is not going to be, they're not going to be picky. So if people want to buy thousands of them, they will buy thousands of them, but they can only make so many so fast. And they're going to be building more factories. They're going to increase their capacity at these factories, no doubt. But, you know, there's going to be some supply-demand latency, so to speak, just like there was in 2021. I just can't wait to see what the demand looks like when we start seeing unsupervised FSD in certain areas. If the writing won't be on the wall, I don't know where it'll be written. But I want to be the first to experience these, or as close to the first person to experience these things, because it's kind of like inside information. Before I didn't try version 13 before, I want to say John Murphy of Bank of America did. But John Murphy of Bank of America tried version 13 and was flabbergasted. Not to mention he toured the facility over there in Austin. He's like, oh yeah, I think we might have misjudged this company just from what he saw and experienced, right? That's not insider information. That's just being one of the first ones to experience something where a lot of people aren't even privy to even understanding, right? So now I have FSD. I use the products, whether that be the Powerwall solar panels. I have Tesla as my insurance provider, as my energy provider. I use their products just as a gauge to see whether or not I need all, because I'm all in. I don't diversify. I'm 100% all in on Tesla, because I feel like we're going to witness a metamorphosis of this company. We got a guy on the side of the road there. Good deal, I guess. It would have been better if we maybe moved over to the left, been a little more safer, but unless he threw himself onto my car, I have a better idea that our AI student driver is not going to hit anyone versus me, right? I'd rather this thing with its precision driving take care of it than, let's just be honest, my failing faculties of hand-eye coordination, handling the radio, or maybe grabbing a text at that time and being... This car is aware of everything that's going on, and it's amazing to see what the visualizations have to offer. So, but yeah, if you're invested in the company and you haven't experienced the latest and greatest of FSD, whether that be 12.5.x or version 13, highly recommend that you experience these things, see for yourself. There's going to be so many people on the web, on the TV, saying that, oh, this is years away. We're talking 3-10 years away, right? And let's not even get started on Optimus. I'm telling you, when I use this thing every day. Now that I got my Model 3, I'm going to be using it even more. Can't wait for the Model 3 to get version 13. End-to-end on the highway, being able to reverse, and then adding some of these extra features. You get the sense that they're not far at all. You know, a year. And a year kind of seems like maybe sooner, right? You're like a year and you're like, probably, more than likely, in a year, we're going to see some unsupervised situations with Tesla's FSD. So, we've been in hurry mode on this West Park Tollway, consistently going about 10 miles over the speed limit, keeping up with the flow of traffic, so to speak. So if you're monitoring it, hopefully everything looks good in the visualization. The best part of the Model 3 is that I can move the visualization to the main screen here, and it would be clearer for me to allow consumers of this content like yourself to see what the car is seeing. And just because what's on the visualization, this is just the surface, right? The car is seeing way more than what is being provided for us to let us know, right? This is a mild convenience, but this car is calculating and seeing so much more than we could possibly imagine, and it's only going to get more complicated as they train the models with more and more data, increase the size of the models. My knowledge of machine learning, yeah, that's real next to nil. But I can tell you, the experts, this is uncharted territory, right? At least the experts have some basis. I love hearing people that are familiar with this topic speak about it, because it really just accentuates the fact that we are in uncharted territory, and the shock and awe of even the experts in the field lets me know that Tesla is recruiting some of the best engineers on the planet, tackling some of the most difficult jobs the world has ever seen. And from what I can tell, being extremely successful at it. So, hats off to Ashok and the AI team. I can't say that enough. This is remarkable. I've never really seen our AI student driver go faster than 78 miles an hour. Right now we're at 77. And we're kind of passing the traffic to the right. I'm not sure what I would say to a police officer if I were to be pulled over, but let's just say there's not a whole lot of places I would be pulled over in this area. But it's no excuse. I'm in control. If I feel it's being unsafe, I can always take over, and I can moderate the speed if necessary. But I like what I'm feeling. I like what I'm seeing. To each his own, though, right? So I could easily take this from hurry setting to an average mode, or even a chill mode if I just want to leisurely get to my, which I probably could have done. I'm going to get to my appointment, and it's even faster, right? I'm probably going to get to my appointment an hour before I need to be there. But we'll see. You never know. Houston traffic, accidents, freaking road closures, construction. It could be anything that keeps you from meeting a deadline. Yeah, this truck over here trying to bypass the garbage truck. We also seem to have a vehicle. Looked like it was part of an accident. But our AI student driver handled the impromptu maneuver from our truck in front about as good as anybody I'd ever seen do it. Comfortable, not alarming, and then we kick it back into high gear. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to experience this. So we got about 4 miles until we get in that exiting mode. Feels like an A+ Uber driver, making moves and doing things that make sense, that do more than make sense. It's just this vehicle in front of us is moving slowly. We got a couple miles before our exit, we just passed the Silverado, and wonder why, bro? We got up to 80 miles an hour just to pass this vehicle. Got 2 miles next to our potential exit here. Probably should start slowing down a little bit. But we are in hurry mode, so I really can't complain. Trying to keep up with the flow of traffic. Can you imagine how fast we'll be able to travel when everything is of an autonomous nature? You know, less than 10% of vehicles on the road operated by a human. You know, and then it just become robot way, traveling at 80, 90 miles an hour all the time. You know. Alright, so we're about half a mile out. I really would like to see us go back toward the speed limit so that we can hit this exit. But I think our AI student driver wants to cut somebody off to make this. And it did. I don't know. I would have probably preferred them to just get in line behind that vehicle to make this exit. But that's a preference thing. It's a comfort thing. I don't think it did anything wrong. It just did something that, I don't know. But either way, we're here now. Beautiful shot. About to roll onto I-610 South, basically. doesn't look as crowded as I figured it might, but I mean, it'll still be a challenge nonetheless. We got slow traffic sign ahead, 1 minute to I-610. We intend to go south. See how our AI student driver handles these random decisions from all these drivers. Yeah, no blinker from this vehicle right here, and our AI student driver handles it. I almost took over there, but that was a very scary situation. Really impressed with how our AI student driver handled that. Could have been a scenario where it didn't need to be there in the first place. I mean, considering we're taking 610 south, we really didn't need to be in that lane. But once it was there, it did handle the situation properly. Maneuver here to try to merge on the 610 is probably necessary. Not necessary. I mean, it seemed pretty easy. Traffic not as bad as I assumed. We got this 18-wheeler to the left. This is what I really wanted to see, how comfortable it was being in the center lane next to an 18-wheeler. That looked pretty good. We accelerate a little bit to make sure we can get past the 18-wheeler. I'm all about that life. We get in the far left lane because we're in hurry mode. Yes, sir. All of that's pretty smooth, pretty comfortable and smooth. So it's 60 miles an hour right now. Again, unless, you know, it is possible to get pulled over here. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to drop it. I don't know. I kind of want to drop it from hurry mode. 610 can be very much of a speed trap. I mean, it's 60 miles an hour here. Getting pulled over here is not pleasant. It's not fun for anybody. Not fun for the cops. Not fun for you. But this holiday season, you can imagine they're not going to be letting you go with a warning. How about that? So they catch you, they catch you. So I don't know. looks like they're going to try to take Fannin in about 2 miles. See how the AI student driver handles that. Multiple lane change. I'm with that. Officer right there. I'm telling you, if you're on 610, hurry mode might not be the best choice. Got NRG Stadium up on our left. Shout out to those Houston Texans, back-to-back AFC South champions. See how we do in the playoffs. Hopefully we don't have a quick exit. Seems to be going smoothly. Exiting. Lane selection. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, me personally, ladies and gents, I don't live over here anymore. I used to live over there by NRG Stadium, and I used to travel this quite a bit. But it's been a while. I haven't been here in a while. So, yeah. I am so grateful that our AI student driver has taken on these tasks. Whereas me, the stress alone would be debilitating. It's changed so much over here. We need to get in this left lane. I think our AI student driver has found an opportunity, and it has done so. The level of stress that is being removed, it's unquantifiable. Like, it's like I'm never going back. Never going back to a Jeep or going back to a GM, Nissan, whatever the fuck, unless it has FSD on it. Can't pay me to use another vehicle when this is available. Can't pay me. We're almost to our destination. Let's see where it decides to take us. I'm gonna let it go, and then I'm gonna go park where I normally park. I just want to see with this point to point. Somebody said, hey, take me to Michael E. Debakey. What does the car's in destination look like? So we're gonna see what that looks. We're early. We got some time to play with a little bit. Yeah, we got enough time to go shopping, honestly, but we'll handle that afterwards. Tomorrow I've got an appointment, so I'll probably end up in Panda again, utilizing some more FSD, getting some more data, some more point to point, as long as Yosh-chan is okay with taking the Model 3. And for those that aren't, because I didn't think it was going to be a huge difference from Model 3Y to Model SX. right? So we had the Model 3 initially, then we got the Y, and then after a while, we were like, let's upgrade to the X, and we know where that money has has gone to. It's more expensive for sure, but the luxuries and amenities that come with the Model X and S and Cybertruck, I'd imagine, it's hard to go back. Like, I'm in the Model 3 doing things I would normally do in the X and not getting similar responses. The automatic doors, for instance, that is freaking amazing. If you've utilized that feature, it is tough. We've left the door open more times than we can count. Like, he's like, did you leave the door open? Yeah. It's just they expect the doors to close on their own. That's just like one of the mild things that come with the luxury of technology. So, and eventually, the only technology that will matter for me is FSD. So that's why I got the Model 3. And instead of, buying a Cybertruck, which would have just been more expensive, less money for me to buy Tesla when I'd like to. So the Model 3 is perfect for my needs. The Model X is definitely what we would use for road trips. The comfort, the space, the tech. This thing is really intuitive. And I'd imagine the S is similar, and the Cybertruck for sure elicits the similar response. So there's a yellow light there. Our AI student driver went right through it. No pause, no hesitancy. Did the right thing. And we're here. I mean, it's not perfect, but I don't expect it to be 100%. The driving is complicated just beyond measure, and that's why humans are so bad at it. But for it to do what it does. All right, so we're coming up on a stop here. We're actually going to pass this vehicle. Perfect. I couldn't have done that better. Well, I mean, obviously I could have done it a little better. My intuition would have probably made me not want to be in that lane in the first place. But according to our navigation, we're going to be turning left. But the vehicles that stopped, there's a vehicle approaching us from the rear. Could have easily, not been paying attention and wanted to bump us had we come to a complete stop there. Our AI student driver, aware that the right lane was completely open, made a move. Appreciate it. Gas right now here at this Chevron. Regular is $3.29. Diesel is $3.69. Yeah. I don't care if gas goes down to $1.99. Never touching a gas pump again. All right, lights turn green. This has been phenomenal. Point to point. We had a brief disengagement out the gate where our AI student driver needed to make a left turn. The guys going straight had green lights. Our AI student driver seemed to prematurely want to leave, so we disengaged, making sure it did the right thing. But again, I don't know. Maybe I was too quick. it's maybe some lane keeping issues that it had early on as well. All right, let's see. Dropping us off at the front here. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's crazy cool. It was gonna take us all the way over there. And especially if this is a robo-taxi service. Probably right here would be where I'd want my my robo-taxi to drop me off here. But yeah, it's a pretty accurate place you would want to have a driverless system drop you off, right? And then it being able to navigate its way out of here, that would be dope. So we're gonna go ahead and end that and park where we would normally park, because I cannot banish this thing as of yet, which would be also pretty freaking awesome. Baby steps. And this is why you can never be too early to get to the VA. Parking. Parking's a bitch. Well, we've kind of, let's see what we got. I really hate parking with the pylon. But let's see what our AI student drivers got here. Me, I'm prone to get so close that I'm liable to hit it. But with our AI student driver, I'm ready to... Oh, ho, 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 ho. Yeah. Yeah. Get on in there. Oh wow, I think we've got some much needed data for this. Loving it.